Hi guys, and welcome back to the SuperCoach Experience podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Savage, the coach. Actually, I'm not the coach of. I'm so used to introducing myself as the coach of the Jamin Salmon SuperCoach.
You're the coach of Cast Patrol.
I'm the coach of Cast Patrol today. Today, we're joined for episode 171 of the SuperCoach Experience podcast with the Cast Patrol. How are you guys?
Mate, very well. Thanks for having us on our own studio.
How good.
I was going to get to that next, by the way.
Welcome to Cast HQ.
And thank you guys for having me. It was going to be logistically a nightmare to get you guys into our studio. So you guys were kind enough to let me into here, and what a setup you guys have.
Do you rate it? What's better, ours or
This is
your
cozy.
studio?
This is cozy. I like this.
The lounge is good. You just sort of sit back and relax.
And Hasbulla's there, just
Yeah.
looking over you.
Lurking the
Hey,
back.
he does all the editing, so we're so
Yeah.
grateful.
I rate this. Adrian is beside me, and we've got Mick and Jimmy. Over
He's
here.
good.
Oh,
He's
he
good.
really stuffed it.
He's good.
We
He
had to
was.
kick
You
you
can
out.
see the thought. Fuck, that's pressure.
What,
He nailed
what were
it.
you tossing up, like, for him?
Oh,
What were you gonna
What do I
call
look
him?
like?
I was going to say Michael.
Yeah,
Oh,
honestly,
sweet.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
And then
my
like
real name.
Isaac Tungo over there.
So they say.
I don't see it, to be honest.
I don't either.
A
But
lot of people call him that, so.
I've actually got, start of the show, I've got a bit of a bone to pick with you.
Oh no.
Last
Me?
week, yes, with you.
Here
On
we
the
go.
show last week,
yeah,
do you remember someone asked you a question, when was the last time the Melbourne Storm missed the grand final? Oh, sorry, missed the
I
finals.
think that
Yeah.
was my blunder.
Yeah.
I think
That
it
was
you.
yours?
I think.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Was
Yeah.
that you? What did either of you say?
I think I said 2018.
I said
or something
03.
Ridiculous.
You said, okay.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
me.
Adrian.
It's you I've got a bone to pick
Yeah,
with.
you
you.
said 2018 or something.
Do you know where they finished in 2018?
Oh, 2018. It'd be top 4, wouldn't it?
He made the grand final that year.
That was an absolute shocker.
That was.
When it gets to those quizzes, I just crack under pressure. I've lost the last 2 to Jimmy.
Yeah.
I get it. I like listen to podcasts and like I know the answer straight away. But if I'm in an environment like this, it's so.
If you're under the spotlight,
pressure.
like I'm like recency bias. So I remember everything in the recent past. But when you tell me something about like 5 years ago, it just fucking all blurs.
And I know that as well. So I make the questions. I quiz these. So I'm like, this will get him 100%. Because he's just like, oh yeah, no.
I'll
NRL
just spray a
existed
number
from
that comes into my head.
Yeah.
Well, it's not actually that bad. It's not actually a bone I have to pick with you. It's all part of the podcast game. But Mick, I'll start with you. Cast Patrol, who are you guys? And SuperCoach community, I'm not sure if they know too much about you guys, but I feel like the little community I follow, you guys are big.
Wow, thank you. That's good to hear. It's a bit about us. So me and Age are cousins, first cousins. So that's why we look a bit alike. He's the ugly one. I'm the hot
Here we
one.
go, turn it up.
Jimmy and I are mates from high school, so we call him our adopted brother, adopted cousin.
Half Italian, this bloke.
Yeah.
1/8.
And then so we've always just chatted shit for a living and loved rugby league. As soon as we turned 18, loved punting, and we're like, fuck, like we just all talk about this all the time. And Jimmy was always like, boys, we're gonna start a podcast. And Adrian and I were probably like, fuck, what is a podcast?
Like, there's always that one bloke who's like, oh, we should start a podcast. And you're like, yeah, it's not the worst idea.
And then we're like, what are you going to talk about? And then we're like trying to brainstorm things. And Jimmy went away to Queensland for a year. So we're like, oh, fuck it, we're not doing this thing. Then he got back and we're like, let's just start. I don't know where we start. So the first episode, we think we start the pod and we're just like, boys, I don't even know how to start this thing. Like, what do we even talk
First
about?
episode was shambles. If you go back to it and watch it,
Shocking.
it's like we probably lost, like, everyone who listened didn't tune back in there.
Lost
No
everyone.
retention. And so we started in May doing podcasts and just rugby league and punting focused. We've had special guests on the way that's definitely helped boost the page up to where it is. And just, we just love rugby league and making content for it.
So you started in the start of 2022, right?
Yeah.
2022, yeah.
So we started the podcast in May in 2022, but then the actual Cast Patrol page was born the year before in like October, and we're posting just shit memes. Like our first meme was like SeaWorld and the Dolphins logo comparison.
If you go back on our profile, you'd see some shockers.
But we wanted to build the page up to
Yeah.
1,000 followers before we started the potty. Otherwise, we'd start it with no followers and, like, who's going to know about it? So that was our thing. Build the page up however we can. so we have a base before we start.
Yeah.
And it sort of worked. But
Yeah.
then we butchered the first potty, and then we had to bring it. We had to build it back up.
I think that's such a measured approach because I see a lot of podcasts start. A lot of people, group of mates saying, we should start a podcast.
Yeah.
They start a podcast. They're so motivated about it. And then they don't see the numbers come in straight away.
And that's why they drop and lose motivation.
Yeah, and they just stop straight
doing it.
away. I think that's why I'm still going because the numbers are there for me to be motivated to do it by myself. But you guys, 3 best mates, how does that motivate you?
I think it's just staying consistent. Like, we obviously see, we love seeing each other every week. And then, obviously we love rugby league and love chatting shit like we said before. But I think, the main thing is just, keeping consistent with our content, not really looking at the stats too much, especially when we first started. Not really, looking at the numbers at all, just, trying to get as much content as we can out there, obviously for everyone. And then, just keeping it consistent, I think is
the main
key.
thing, I think, which we did at the start, which was really good. Like we said, all right, boys, if we're doing this, like Tuesday night is recording night. Like you block it off. We don't get any exception. I think we've only exceptions we allow is like girlfriend's birthday because we're like,
That's the
all
only
right,
rule.
Yeah.
Like, even
Sure.
our own birthdays, we just do it anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I recorded like Bryson Goodwin on my birthday. I was
Just
like,
don't want to get
"Hey,
rolled by
birthday."
the misso. Like,
Yeah.
happy wife, happy life.
That's it.
Yeah,
But-
just stay consistent.
But the way we keep motivated, it's like we said to each other, like, imagine you had 50 people that listen every week. That's all we need. 50 people in one room, you're just like a big presentation.
Yeah.
So as long as there's 50 genuine listeners, we'll be still doing this.
And it's funny, with them 50 people, they probably, especially if they're loyal followers, like they wait for your podcast to come out every week. And I think that's what's so important about being consistent. You've got to stick to the day you're doing, do it every week, once a week, or whatever the schedule is. And don't break that, because if you break that, they're going to break their loyalty with you kind of thing. Have you guys kind of picked up any lessons like that on the way?
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
Like sometimes like the render will take like 12 hours and we'll miss the deadline for like 7 a.m. And then it gets to like midday and you're getting messages from followers like, hey, where's the potty? Like, is the potty out? You're like, hey, just relax. Like a few technical difficulties.
Because I know personally, like myself, like I have a rotation of podcasts, and if like if I'm on that day, let's say Monday, it's my Premier League podcast. If that Premier League podcast isn't out on a Monday, I'm going, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm scratching my head going, how? And then I don't see it on my sort of like the cast side of things. I'm just like, oh yeah, it'll be right. We can do it a few hours late. People won't care. But then you get the messages and you're like, fuck no, I actually have a responsibility to get content for these people.
It actually ruins your day, eh? Like when a podcast that you listen to doesn't upload that day, it honestly ruins my day.
Like,
Absolute
what's
worst.
going on?
Like I'd be at work and I'd just be like cruising, like everything's good, be tired, and I get a phone call from Mick and he's like, "Bro, the potty didn't get up." Like, I'm just like, what the fuck? And then
going on?
just fucks your whole day.
Oh yeah, it's a shambles.
And I think with that whole motivated part as well, like just recently, we get messages from people, saying they want to start podcasts because they love our content and stuff. So, that obviously
That definitely drives us.
helps as well. That we influence.
It's funny. I've had a few messages from like people that follow me that have started podcasts and gone on to like be bigger than I am.
Yeah.
And like, it's not kind of, it's rewarding, but at the same time, it's like, you don't need to be established right now. If you start now, you could still do well. But with your guys and the Cast Patrol, what's the goal?
So we're all working full time at the minute, like not with Cast Patrol, just at our own jobs. We've always said it's the goal to be full time, but obviously the monetization got to come in, and goal just staying consistent. Eventually, we do only one podcast week, comes out on a Wednesday. Eventually, 2 podcasts. We've already said, but head noise trying to get it up with all these rendering issues and
I think
podcasts.
just growing the business as much as we can, and like Mick said, if eventually we can do it full time, then who wouldn't?
Yeah, I'd definitely love to do it full time. Like, it's a massive passion of mine. So like, if this can be like every day and like to work, like that's the dream.
What do you guys do for
So
jobs at the
I'm
moment?
doing sales, so just sales assistant.
I'm marketing, so it helps like with the social side of things and like video editing and audio stuff.
And I'm in finance, analyst in finance. So
Jesus, you got a string for every bow, don't you?
So he does all the betting because his numbers like
He's all the form, all the data.
he's like a beautiful mind, just ticking in there.
If things go exactly to plan, when can that happen? Do you think? Like, obviously, it's a bit hard to tell because like what's happening at the moment. you can't see like money coming in from certain places. Like you've got to get more people on board. I understand that, but what's the trajectory?
I feel like best case would be like sometime next year. Worst case, a few years after that, or never. You know, you don't know what's going to happen around the
it's
corner.
So
definitely
hard
the-
as well.
yeah.
You go.
I was just gonna say, like, I think in the next 5 years would definitely be like ideal, but yeah, I mean, whatever happens, right?
I was gonna say, like, if when we started the pod, right, we always said 50 listeners. Like, if we would have said where we were now, like with the guests we've had on, the content we've produced, consistency, I'd be like, fuck, that was a goal that I would have had for 3 years' time.
Like in 1.5 years, like you nearly halved it.
So
definitely where we're at is over exceeded our expectations.
And as you probably know, like content and the way all these podcasts and influencers, everything is going, like one opportunity comes around or a few little ones come around, and it fucking changes everything. Changes your whole content, changes your whole like approach to how you do things. So it's always changing. We just hopefully keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, for sure. I know at the start of the year we had a sponsor come on board, and they put us in a nice studio, and that fell through after 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
And then we had another studio come on board straight after, which put us in another scenario. And I think after being in that studio for the first week, it just made me think, I can't not do that again.
Yeah.
Like you've got to be in a professional setting for people to respect you as a professional kind of podcaster. Professional podcaster. But I want to move on to your Instagram grind and TikTok and how that's boosted you. I know at the start of the year, you guys were on like 3,000 followers, like very close to us on Instagram, and like soon after it was 5,000. It's like what, 7,000 at the moment?
Yeah, it's at 7.3, nearly at 7.5. But I think the main thing we noticed was like getting guests on.
Yeah.
Big profile guests. Like we had Gay Waterhouse, that helped a lot. Like we got people reaching out to us and getting us on radio and being like, how'd you get her on? Like, this, that, all
It's like a unicorn of the racing
we're like,
world.
shit, I don't even know how we got him on. But yeah, getting guests on, and they will share your content, get their audience, and just like snowballs from there.
I say it all the time. It's like sometimes you produce content. You've probably found yourself a lot of content creators listening to. You produce a piece of content and you go, this is gonna go crazy on this. Like, you're like, boys, this is it's gonna go crazy.
Gonna go off.
Post it, flops, and you're like, okay, doesn't matter. You got to shrug it off. And then you post something that you think like was a 10-second job, average, whatever, and it's your best content. You're just like, I don't know what works and what doesn't.
Isn't it funny how that works? Because you probably missed out on so many opportunities to post like things that are gold. That
Because you just don't think they're good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel that all the time. Gay Waterhouse.
Yeah.
You got her on. How did you get her on, by the way? And what sort of setting was that? Because it kind of looked like you're in someone's house. Did you like want to dine her over here? Or?
It's a good story. It's a good story. So my mate, Cameron Hay, he used to work with her. So he was picking up all the shit and doing all that. So he was close to Gay.
At the stable there.
At the stables. And then we said to him, hey, can you reach out to her? Like, we'd love to have her on the podcast. And like, it was a lot of back and forth between her and the PA and Cameron.
Actually, sorry, I cut you off. The start was the first email he goes, I'd like to do a podcast with Gay. Gay didn't know what a podcast was. The PA just sent Gay's phone number and goes, just give Gay a call whenever you're ready. And Cameron was like, where is she? She goes, she's in the Hunter Valley. She's not got the best internet, but just give her a call if you want to talk to her.
She thought that was a podcast.
Like an interview
over
the phone.
And we're like, no, we need you in person.
We're like, in person.
We set up a time in her trophy room.
At Randwick, it was crazy.
So it was sick. We were frothing. We're like, no way, this is not going to happen. And we get there, and we're there, and the PA's like, she's running a bit late. We're sitting there for like an hour and a half, and we're like, okay, she's not going to come. Oh my God. We're like, we're late to work. She's not going to come. We're stuffed here.
Yeah.
And then she finally walks in an hour and a half later, and we're like 4 of us sitting down.
The lights.
Cameras, lights, as you can see here. And she's like, oh, wow, what is this? What is this? And we're like, it's a podcast. She's like, oh, a podcast? What's a podcast? There's 4 lovely men here. We're like,
we had and then like that trophy room was ridiculous. It had she had so many trophies won over her career that like she was using some as like doorstops for the bathroom.
Oh my God.
It was like
even in her bathroom, she had trophies in the bathroom. It's crazy.
And then we've said it a few times, like on the pod and to other people, that like we set the podcast up like this nicely. All we had was we had a handheld mic for her, and she goes, I don't want to put it on my white pants, so she puts the mic on the floor. So her mouth to her mic is around 3 meters, 2 meters away.
Oh my God.
And we're going, no. And we all looked at each other like, fuck, we're not going to tell the Queen of Racing. Like,
Like, put it on your pants. We need you to do this.
So we're like, what do we do? We're just like, let it go, mate. When we listened to this audio back,
Couldn't hear
it
it.
was like, what? And we're like, we're fucked. That's our best podcast gone.
Yeah.
Fuck. It took like a week of just grinding. Some guy in Denmark couldn't speak that much English. Goes, I can do it for 300. And we go, fuck it, whatever. Send it to him.
Yeah.
Fix the audio. Perfect. And we're
Oh my
like, oh my
God.
God. And like, I spoke to, I reckon, 20 people before that. And they were like, no, it's fucked. You can't fix it. And I'm just like, head noise galore.
Yeah.
So when you paid this guy $300,
Yeah.
you were like, this is the last.
This is
thing.
very low.
So good. Like,
He was the only guy that could do it. He was like, I think I can do this. Done. Oh my
it
God.
still wasn't perfect audio, but it was enough to be a podcast.
Better
I
than
reckon-
where it was.
I reckon I could have done it. Turn it up.
Mate,
Oh, mate, head noise.
Yeah.
Oh well, that is an amazing achievement. But since then, Campbell Graham, Jacob Host, Dylan Walker, Mark Nichols, Bryson Goodwin,
Goodwin, yeah.
Hectic Fred.
Hectic Fred.
Hectic Fred.
The great man.
Goat
Fred.
live streamer.
Best for last.
How have all them kind of guests come about as well? Obviously, a lot of Rabbitohs players.
Yeah.
So me and Mick are massive Rabbitohs fans, and
Jimmy, tell him Hosty. That's the best.
Oh, Hosty the good story.
Hosty, we were at Bungalow in Darling Harbour, and then we were just at the bar, and then he just came up behind us, and we're like, "Who's this guy?" He just put his arms on our shoulders, and we looked back, and it was Jacob Host. And then we're like, "What the fuck?" And then he bought us a shot, and we're like, "Oh, jump on the potty, blah blah." Messaged him the next day, and he was like, "Yeah, sweet." And then
Come on.
The best.
yeah,
Met him at a pub.
at the bar, yeah,
Just like the guests walked into your lap.
Yeah,
And
literally.
You know what's funny? I like Jacob Host was someone very low on my radar before you guys had him on. When you had him on, I was looking at him very close for SuperCoach. And
Oh,
he
really?
was actually a very good buy at that point
Yep.
because the cast effect
Yeah.
was
Oh, the
something that
cast
was
effect.
real.
Hey, it's actually crazy.
Yeah, well, that was a crazy time.
Tell
too.
us about that.
Yeah, so we literally got Host on, and the bloke scores the next week. I think he was on a mad route of like 300
It
games.
was even before that. It was like
300 games.
like something ridiculous.
no, 300 games. What is he, Cameron Smith?
No, okay, no, sorry.
300
The 300 game one was Dylan Walker.
yeah.
No,
Dylan Walker,
days.
300 games.
Days, not games.
Oh, sorry, days. Sorry,
So,
days.
fuck,
That
yeah,
makes,
that makes
that makes a
sense.
lot
Yeah.
more sense.
No, it was it started with
300 days.
It started with like Campbell Graham, got him on the start, and then we interviewed Mark Nichols, and they
Yeah.
scored like opening rounds, set the world alight, and then Jacob Host, scored literally the week after. We're like,
Yeah.
this is fucked.
Yeah, but Dylan Walker, the number was high. I can't remember exactly. It was over 300 days.
It was a long time, and
the
then he was
bloke
starting at
scored straight
5'8"
away.
that
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
He started at 5'8" down the left, and I think he just a ricochet and he picked it up and scored.
Put
or
it
something.
down.
And we warned him. We said like, this is the Castro effect. Like, you might score either this week or next week. And he's like, oh please, I'm like in a drought.
Yeah.
And he
Well, like, that's the
scored.
only reason he came on, already. Just to get his try, and now he would have been bench player of the year if they still had it.
Yeah, that was a crazy time. Like, someone messaged us. They go, oh, like the Castro patrol effect's real. Like, everyone you interview scores or does something. Like, even Zach Purden, Hong Kong-based jockey, came over here. Fucking
2 Group 1s.
2 Group 1s. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, what's going on? Freaky.
And everyone was messaging us saying, "Get Twal on," and stuff. It was so funny.
Get Carrigan, get
And we actually messaged Tor and he said, yeah, I'll come on.
Oh,
And then
did
I
he
swear
actually
he
And,
scored.
like, he scored like 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
And we're
And
like,
fuck, does this count? Like, I'm gonna claim this.
He might want to come on again
Yeah.
next year because
Get another one.
I feel
he's
like
looking for a
that,
club too.
that first try for him was not satisfying. Like the first try for Pat Carrigan was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was line break, clean line break, big try.
100%.
But like
His was just that
nobody
put the ball
knew
down.
it was him that scored it.
Yeah.
And when everyone noticed, they were like, Alex Twal.
That was like God just giving him giving
Yeah.
him a little one. Just like, there you go.
Yeah,
You deserve it.
and he got that piece of turf as recognition. Campbell Graham, he went on an absolute tear after that 13 rounds. Center of the year, if you count the first half of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first half of the year was him and there was daylight second.
Yeah, that's
like he
it.
was carving up.
Yeah.
And then he had that sternum injury. And then he came back and he was literally playing battled and bruised the whole rest of the season.
It's hard to tackle
Playing
with
with a
busted
plate.
sternum.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
And you could tell like he was missing like tackles he never misses.
And he's a real skinny, like lanky guy.
Yeah,
so that would affect him.
Yeah.
What's it like having them sort of players in your podcast studio?
Campbell's okay because you went to school with him and we sort of like grew up with him. Like we've seen him at parties.
So you know him.
It was okay.
But still, I haven't seen him that long, and he's just so fucking tall.
So,
I'm not the tallest bloke, but this guy just fucking like 2 heads above me, and I'm like, shit, okay, I can see why you're a beast on the field.
He almost like hit like those doors there. He almost hit his head. I was like, bro, no one in the history of my house living here has ever hit.
Yeah, I got close to it.
He got close, yeah.
It's crazy how people's heights are so different. Oh, when I walked in, you guys are like, fuck, you're tall.
You can't tell off the screen, can
No,
you?
you can't. I do look like a short dude on the camera, don't I?
You look like me, right?
SuperCoach, what do you have to do with SuperCoach? I know you guys kind of followed it a bit. What's you've got a little shield over there.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So we all started playing Classic, and then we were all Classic. We used to like sit there in class, compare Classic teams, and then I think Adrian started draft. He was like, boys, I have this like this game that we can play draft. You like one person owns one player. I think it's all right. And fuck, as soon as we started, we're like addicts. We're like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I feel like draft gives you more satisfaction. Like if everyone has Kalen Ponga when he's on a tear. Besides yourself, I know you didn't have him. So sorry to bring it back
Shouldn't
up.
have told you that story at the start.
But yeah, like if everyone has that one player, you can't really like brag about it because like literally 70% plus own it. But if you're the only one who has like Trell Mitt when he's on a tear or Hines,
Cleary.
Like that year when Turbo had like that 2021, we have a keepers league, so you keep a player every year. So Turbo's my keeper. So I had him and Cody Walker that you just fucking toweling everyone up.
Oh my god!
And I was like, this is easy. Captain,
is your name on the shield for 2021?
I've won 3 comps since the start. 2021, in the semi-final, Turbo was out because of that cheekbone thing he did.
Oh no!
So I got rolled to my dad, so out. And I didn't win the final.
He scored like 220 in the last round as well.
Yeah, I know. Don't remind me.
just to rub it in because that would have been the grand final.
Do you play much draft at all or anything like that?
I don't. I struggled to find why a lot of people love it, but I think just sitting here listening to you guys, you need a big friend of groups, a group of friends that are like really into it. Yeah. A lot of my friends, they're kind of casual, they're in and out. So I find it really hard to get into. But I think in a system like yours, Jesus, it would be, especially draft day, would be.
Oh, crazy. Yeah,
we have draft day.
Yeah, we have draft day. Everyone comes around here.
It's a lot of psyching out as well. And just like
mind games.
Just throughout the NRL season, just the banter in the group chat, like when the games are on, it's just so funny.
That's another thing. It's like SuperCoach is hard enough, but our group chat is we got a group of 6 of us that have played since high school. It's probably the most toxic group chat you can ever be in. Like there's someone watching a game every second. So if your player does something wrong or right, you'll hear from it in that second. So I'm with Mrs. My phone going, I'm going, fuck, who scored Ponga? Oh, for fuck.
And I watch it because I'm on KO. I'm delayed a bit, like by like a few seconds. So I'll get a notification like, I don't know, Ponga scored and I'm versing it. And I'm like, fuck.
And you see the back line and Ponga gets
it's like, I know what's going to happen.
Like,
here.
wow, thanks for the spoiler.
So ours has just gone like bigger and bigger. So our prize money, like our entry money is pretty hectic to get into like our draft comp. And then we've had last place punishments put in since last year. So I came last year. It was the Macca's challenge. It was like spend 16 hours at Macca's. We reduced. It was like,
I remember that.
Yeah. So that was me. I did 16 hours at Macca's. For every cheeseburger you eat, you get an hour off the time limit.
Right.
So I ate 11 cheeseburgers and I was out in 5 hours. And it was my sister's 21st that night and I couldn't even go. I was fucking so ill.
God.
And then this year it was us 3 and another mate. So in a 6-man league, there was 4 of us in the last round that could have come last. Yeah. And he ended up coming last, Jimmy.
Oh no.
And so we'll tell you the punishments. What would you have chosen? All right. So first one is take a blow up doll to dinner.
Well, you told me before the podcast, so I'll just pretend.
You don't know.
I'll choose the worst one. That you
okay. blow up doll. Take to dinner. And you're gonna have a 3-course meal.
Yeah. You have to be accepted in the restaurant. So if you get denied, you just have to keep trying.
Oh my god!
Someone let you.
And all the boys are on another table. That's
pretty bad.
And you don't have your phone, so you're like you have to talk to this blow up doll.
Oh no! Yeah.
Second one is the buyout option, $1,500 dinner for the boys.
Yep.
Like limit. So it's a buyout. It's pretty heavy.
Like double your entry, pretty much.
Yeah. And then the third one is get a donkey tattoo somewhere on your body. So, fuck. It's like it's not that expensive. It's not that painful, but it's forever.
Yeah.
And you came last, Jimmy?
Yeah.
And what did you choose?
The tattoo.
I would have chosen exactly the same one.
Tattoo,
I would have chosen the same one. I think the $1,500 thing, like even if you're loaded, you don't want to do that.
No.
Yeah. Give them that satisfaction.
Yeah.
Paying for all the boys' drinks and food. Like,
Yeah.
thanks, mate. They'll just rub it in.
At least there's a limit on it though.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
a cap.
Like, so they're not taking the piss. But that Dole one.
Oh,
Dole's heavy.
Dole was my top.
He
of
was
the list.
gonna
I was
do
gonna
it.
do it, and
Oh,
I was
we actually-
last for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
But I always had a good for and against, so I just need to beat one person.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So you've got
So-
tats, so it's okay. So I don't have tats. I'm like, do I want my first tat to be a donkey tat?
Yeah.
Not
You can
really.
get it like on.
You can get in a hidden place, like
Yeah.
you're getting
Yeah.
on your ass, right?
yeah. Somewhere in the
Left
region.
or right cheek.
I think left. I think.
So that's happening this weekend, is it?
It is Saturday.
Big
yeah.
draft
Oh,
day.
you're very excited.
We go out, party,
Yeah.
celebrate. the stressful year that was.
Yeah.
Boys, we're going to talk about TBC Live. Tell me about it.
Mate, I'm hooked. I've been on there for over a month now, and like making predictions, banter, winning prizes.
Yeah.
Mate, it gets me hooked.
I heard there's a $1,000 prize up for offer this weekend.
Yeah, it is. So basically, if you sign up to the app, you're entered into the $1,000 cash draw giveaway.
That's it. You just
that's
literally
it.
sign up.
That's it. Sign
Under
up.
2
Free.
minutes.
Free to sign up.
Free to
Free to
sign
sign
up.
up, no
Open to all
risk.
ages. Not even 18 plus. It's open to all
And
ages.
all countries as well. Don't
Yeah.
even have to be in Oz.
No, exactly. And then if you play on grand final day, so during the Panthers versus Broncos GF game, you get a second entry into the draw. So you can potentially have 2 entries and pretty good odds of winning because there's not a crazy number of sign-ups yet.
Well, actually, tell you a little secret, Mick and Brandon. There's actually
Hello, I'm here.
welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to our studio.
Welcome to your own podcast.
Thank you.
So there's only 200 people on the app right now.
Ooh.
So if
Give
you
or
do the math, 200, say times 2, because they all make a prediction, that's a 1 in 400 chance you win $1,000.
Yep.
You're probably not going to get that anywhere else on grand final week for free.
Free.
You know,
But
free chance.
better yet, if you actually win and get the most points on grand final day during that game, you actually get a club membership of your choice. Any club.
Correct.
Cowboys if you're a turncoat like Jim.
Yeah.
You can pick the Wires. If you already have a
Wires.
club membership, you
If
want
you're
another
moving
one,
to
get
New
the
Zealand,
Wires.
yeah.
What membership would you get? I know you support like 7 teams.
Oh, Jesus.
Whoever's going
That's a
well at the
low
time.
I'd probably go Penrith because I live there. And
Yeah.
Don't
You
you
know,
go for Manly as well?
Yeah, but you want to go to the games that you can go to.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
your
100%.
Supercoach players play?
Yeah,
you know?
watch my Supercoach players, and I think Penrith, Nathan Cleary is going to be captain a lot of the time. So,
Do you see yourself as a good reader of the game, like good at predictions and all that?
I think so, and especially this weekend, I think I'll be able to predict.
Okay, give us a prediction.
Any prediction?
Any prediction.
So,
Can
like
be
for
literally
instance,
anything.
last week I did random South guy to appear on the broadcast.
Yeah.
I think Jim, you're doing streaker this week.
I'm doing. There will
Why'd
be a
you pick
streaker.
streaker?
Hey, it's a big day. Grand final
A lot
day.
of alcohol consumption.
Do you have any
That's it.
stats on that? Like, has it been like a streaker in the last 5 grand finals or anything?
Wow, I couldn't tell you.
You just have a vibe.
Pure vibe.
Pure vibe.
All right, here's an omen for you.
Go.
1991, Penrith won their first premiership.
Yep.
That was on the 23rd of September. 23rd of September is Stephen Crichton's birthday.
Ooh.
His
Yep.
100th game is this Sunday. Stephen Crichton for a double.
Wow.
And he scored in
Huge.
his last 3 grand finals
He
as well.
has, yeah.
Fuck, that's some
Jesus.
stats right there. I like
Yeah.
that.
That's your prediction.
One-
That's a good stat.
And what's good about TBC Live, obviously, you pro know from SuperCoach, we watch so much SuperCoach and our players. When you take away that SuperCoach element, you're like, oh, this game's actually not that good sometimes. It's a bit of a slugfest. So
Yeah.
this prediction method that TBC Live is gratefully sponsoring and set up for us and everyone to use in the rugby league
The
community.
banter chat.
Banter, it's like,
That's the best
yeah,
thing
it
as
keeps
well.
you on the
Yeah.
app. It's like that SuperCoach vibe of like, I want to win predictions. I can see it in real time happen.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for a final outcome for the match. Let's say you did Penrith to win. You're not waiting that
The
whole
best
time.
is the bragging rights. Like, you'll
Bragging
get a
rights.
prediction right. It's like pretty wild and
Yeah.
unlikely. And you're just in the chat like, yeah, bang, I told you. Like, I'm the king, like all that stuff. And like, yeah, challenge against your mates.
So you can make a prediction in the 50th minute for then something to happen in the next 10 minutes.
Yes,
so
max
you've got
10
something.
minutes.
You can have something alive the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have multiple predictions at the same time. So I can be like, has to make 5 runs in the next 10 minutes. Into carrying to make 10 tackles in the next 10 minutes.
You can
Like,
do like
you can just
li-
keep
like
going.
when we say literally anything. Like there is an
Anything.
open bar and you just
Chat.
type.
Yeah.
There's no like markers or anything. It's just typing
Yeah, you can
whatever
be
you
like
want.
the refs miss a forward pass in the next 10 minutes. And
Yeah.
You'll probably get all your steak back. Probably like,
You won't win, but
Free to play.
So it's free to enter. You can win $1,000 this weekend and an NRL club membership
Yep.
by the end of the weekend. No brainer, in my opinion.
it'll be rude not to join.
So the
Just-
link to sign up is www.tbclive.com or it's on the App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search it up, TBC Live, and it'll pop up. It's a yellow and blue one. Can't miss it. I'm sure you put it in your episode description notes as well. So
100%.
Right down below.
Take a couple minutes to sign up, make a prediction on game day, and that's 2 entries to win $1,000.
how good.
How good. So Dabble. Dabble have come on board, and I watched the streams that you guys do.
Thanks
Hey,
for
what's the
tuning
Double
in.
streams on Saturday?
They're pretty good.
Yeah, we love them.
And they're doing good things, in my opinion.
Double
Dabble's
double
cool.
of flying, yeah. Pay us double.
Greatest app on earth.
Yeah. Well, I remember like when we first joined Dabble, like you couldn't even bet on like the place for the horses. It was just wins, and it was like the
There's
dodge.
no multis.
They've
there's
come a long way.
No same games in NRL. It was like very limited.
I think
app.
that's helped us. We've like grown with Dabble. So like we were there from the start. They've obviously seen that loyalty, and just kept going with it. So it's good that we had it on board, and fucking thankful they paid for most of the setup. So
yeah, it definitely helps. But yeah, we started with them, and like the guy I was speaking to, Michael, was literally like, just build your account, try and get 1,000 followers, 2,000, and we can talk. So we were just like, we're putting all these bets up, and they were hitting.
Yeah.
And then we got this copy bet special. So every Saturday they give it to a person.
just to one person
And
pick
like,
one horse.
There was like a massive drought. No one could hit it. And then Jimmy tipped the winner at like $4, and like the chat was going off. There was 4,000 people on the bet. So like,
and then we got back the next
and then
week.
you go again the next week, and we fucking hit another one
Yeah.
at like 360,
Wow.
and 4,000 people copied, and then our follower base just went crazy on the app.
We calculated we probably cost Double around that 800K mark of like those
In that 2
two
weeks.
bets. Because like people were probably doing the max bet of like 25 on it, and we're like, fuck,
Wild.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You're like, they're probably loving it, but at the same time, they're like,
They're like,
but,
shit.
But if they're on a drought, they would have
They would have cleaned up too, yeah.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so Dabble, what have they done for you, and like how have they progressed the Cast Patrol?
So they're great because like a live stream is pretty much promoting the app, but
Yeah.
promoting ourselves as well.
Yeah.
So if people like our content on the Saturday, we do a 2-hour stream.
Yeah.
They can tune into the potty. You know, they can we give them cast merch, so it sort of
Yeah.
grows. We grow together in a way.
And it's an ecosystem as well, in the fact that obviously our page is very punting orientated in rugby league. So people like love the content, go, all right, I'll check out their tips.
Yeah.
But then people from Dabble see winning tips, and they on the bet they go, oh, how good's that? I'll follow them on Instagram, or
Yeah.
I'll listen to their podcast. So we've had a lot of people that
Snowball. effect.
yeah, just find us from different ways and avenues. So it's good to have that connection, and it also builds a lot of our content as well. Because if we hit a big multi, then okay, we post about it. Or if we talk about a pod, like we're gonna film a grand final preview, we like all our bets are on Dabble.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Like, you don't realize how impactful big and like winning bets actually get you. And like with that platform, that's allowed you to have
Yeah,
people come over from there to you.
Exactly.
literally
Yeah.
to grow that way. But it could also work the opposite way. If we were only if we were only based on tipping, you're like your listeners are literally only there when you're winning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
so it can go the other way.
Like you probably found with SuperCoach, if you suggest a few dud buys in a row, fuck, people are just flogging you, or like
Yeah.
they tune off.
And your trust is gone, you know?
It's kind of like that. I'm lucky I've been okay the last 2 years in Coach, but you get some things wrong here and there. Like, it's kind of like
Yeah,
Callum
100%.
Ponga.
Yeah. Bonga. That's a bad one. But one more thing I'd like to mention is like we were posting our tips on Instagram
Yeah.
for everything. So it'd be like,
Yeah.
you know, we're posting this race and the next race and then this same game multi
Yeah.
NRL.
It was
It's just so time consuming and not convenient.
Yeah.
Dabble, like all our tips are there. You just really get copy bet and then loads of bets. So
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we have to do.
yeah, it's just a nightmare.
Yeah. The footy over the weekend. You guys are footy guys.
Yeah.
What's your read on the footy, and who are your tips for the weekend?
You think, Jim?
I'd love to see Brisbane win.
No.
Like I'd love to see.
Turncoat.
I'd love to see Brisbane win, but I think Penrith just look hard to beat. Like, yeah, they just. I don't know. Like, I don't know who can beat them. So.
Yeah, defense wins the big games. Everyone knows
Yeah.
that. And Penrith defense is so fucked. It's like a well-oiled machine. Yeah,
Even
well-oiled machine.
their attack, like just everything, like attack, defense, like it's just.
I'm so torn because I don't want to see Penrith win 3 in a row. But then,
Yeah.
like, if Adam Reynolds wins one for Brisbane, I'll be happy for him. But I'll be so filthy at South
Yeah.
for letting him go, being fucking
Yeah.
diehard Rabbitohs my whole life. I'm just like, oh, I'm actually so torn. But I'm glad that it's a first v second battle. This is probably the first final in a while that you're like, I actually don't know who's going to win. Like, it's a toss-up.
Oh, I know. Panthers will win.
Oh, Pens will win.
Yeah, like they've only leaked 4 tries in the last 3 games. Like that is
Yeah.
criminal. I know Brizzy have a great attack, but
Yeah.
fuck. They're not. It's going to be hard to get through this defense.
It's funny. I want Penrith to get the three-peat. Like, I love Penrith. I live in Penrith.
You're
so,
from Penrith, yeah?
So, like, I'm feeling the vibes
I've
there.
got the black on for Penrith.
Everyone's like, the vibes are high there. Like,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the bloody bogans are walking in their best and less jerseys over there. But I just feel like the Broncos, there's something there, and like they can match the forward pack. And I just think Reece Walsh is the only difference in both sides. I think he can create something from nothing.
Yep.
I'm very scared that they're going to lose, but I'm hoping Penrith win.
I also think like the game day experience in the grand final is massive. Like they'll be going into their 4th grand final, and like the pressure will go from up here to down here.
Yeah.
Like there's no they lose, so what? You know they won 2.
Yeah.
Everyone,
And they've been there and done that. Broncos, a lot of pressure is going to be on Reynolds, man.
Yeah.
Imagine the flashbacks he's getting from the sideline on the left side. Like, you know, his time's now. This is where the pressure's building on.
You guys are South fans. Was that a massive moment for you guys? Because like it's not
was
really talked about
huge,
that
bro.
much, is it?
Oh, huge.
But it
That was huge. Like, if he got that, we won, right?
We won.
no, it's 14.
No, sorry.
14-12.
We
draw
draw
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we
draw
draw
it.
the game, and then who knows what could happen from there.
But you probably had the momentum, eh?
Yeah,
we had
and
the
Reynolds would have
momentum
kicked a
going into
field goal.
that.
He was in
Like,
such
Reynolds
good form.
gets that every single fucking week, you know? That's why you're like,
crazy how
his
he
good
missed that,
side,
man.
you're like, he's
Crazy.
going to curl it back in. And that one just didn't curl.
It's weird how these big players, JT on
Yep.
grand final
Yep.
day, like I watched that the other day because obviously grand final week.
Yeah.
That's going to come up every
That's
year.
an epic GF. Not for Broncos fans.
I've seen that 1,000 times, and over the weekend when I saw it, it looked more like it was going in than every other time. Like
Yeah.
I can't believe that didn't miss.
What
that
was
missed.
the story
Yeah.
again about it? Like why he missed?
Yes, I think he was lining up to kick it, and then the ref said, "Oh no, it's actually closer to the sideline." So when the more closer to the sideline he is, the further back he puts it.
It usually takes another step
Yeah,
back if he goes
But
to step
because
to
the
the
ref
side.
just put him off, he just moved it to the side, didn't come back. So
Oh no!
So imagine he moves it back like 1 meter.
He
That
gets-
that's enough to curl it in.
yeah, it probably is.
And they win it there and then. But
That would have been
lucky
so
at the fairy
close.
tale
like
anyway.
that, every time that felt try comes up, I get goosebumps still to this
Yeah.
day. Like it's
It's crazy. That
Like that
Morgan,
moment-
Morgan running one hand, show and go,
felt
flick out the felt.
best.
Crazy.
Crazy.
That's probably my favorite NRL memory.
Yeah,
Like it, even not as a Cowboy supporter.
Yeah, I was there live. That's probably the best GF I've seen in my time.
Jesus, that would
That
have been
was,
a good
and
one.
I don't even give a shit about either team, but it was just like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah.
It was actually a pretty boring grand final up until that,
Yeah,
though.
it was.
It was, yeah.
That just made it though.
Any other-
that finish was crazy.
Yeah.
South is also hectic.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
Finally
2014.
see a win live. Like I don't know how much
And
longer I will.
It's crazy how time just sort of slips away. Like I remember when I was 2014 watching it, I was like 14. I'm like, oh yeah, premierships will come around.
Feels so long ago.
Still, I'm like waiting like 10 years. I'm like, there is not another premiership in sights that I can see. It's actually crazy.
Well, at least you're a little bit realistic, unlike someone I know who's a Bulldog supporter. Winston Neville.
Oh,
2024's his year.
I did like his reasoning though. The fact that like win loss in the finals. But
Yeah.
yeah, I thought that about. I think Italy in the national team for soccer did the exact same thing. It was like every 12 years they would make a World Cup final,
Yeah.
and then the 12th year between gaps was the last World Cup, and they didn't qualify. So I was like, all right, sweet, doesn't exist anymore.
I just can't see Bulldogs doing it. Eh?
no, no chance.
Nah, definitely not winning next year. Give him like 5 year, like a 5-year plan, maybe.
But the Broncos, like last year, they just missed out. Like
Yeah.
it could happen.
Yeah,
it could
it
happen. They
could,
could
but
get there.
I don't think Critter will solve all their problems.
No,
You know, it's a
like
lot.
Taff.
Like
All
Taff,
the 14s
hey, he's
that
gonna
they
win the
saw.
New South Wales Cup, fucking
And they've got
final,
Drew,
and then the
they've got a bench full of 14s as well.
Plenty of
they
utilities.
got every.
I
14.
think like Broncos just always had a good team though. Like that whole pack was so young for so long. It was just like Carrigan did his ACLs, where he was out for when I'm pretty sure when they got the spoon. So it was coming. Like this pack was
Yeah.
going to come together. And then
Reynolds is the man.
Good
they
young
need.
Reynolds, and then Walsh was just like the cherry on top.
Yeah.
And then they found fucking Farnsworth, Cobbo.
Yeah.
Like those two have been crazy.
Mams
for 'em.
playing good for
Ezra,
man.
yeah.
Billy Walters. Fucking hell, what happened to this bloke as well? He was
Yeah.
like,
Late debutant for was it Tigers or Melbourne?
I don't know who he debuted
One
for,
of them,
but-
and it was
Oh,
just-
I think he played for both of them.
He
Yeah.
played
Yeah.
both. I don't know which one first, but like
But his improvement this year's been
Crazy.
out of sight. Like man of the match last week.
He's always
Jesus.
had it in him. It's just like the longevity of playing bigger minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
And
that's
now
the
he's
problem
looking a
with
bit
it.
lively in attack as
Yeah.
well. Good service. Yeah, no, he's.
I think because we
impressive.
look at it from like a super coach point of view, and
Yeah.
like he's like player like Billy Wells had never been relevant in super coach.
Yeah.
So you've never watched him.
Yeah.
But then when you sit down and watch him for like the Broncos, you go, he's actually a very good 9. He's exactly what he needs for like Adam Reynolds to just
For that team.
yeah, exactly. Give Walsh and Reynolds the ball
Yeah.
and have space. And you saw last week, no one expects him to pass. Everyone expects him to pass, and he shows and goes and scores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Similar role to
Very
what
good.
Kenny plays for Panthers.
Just
Like,
give
if
the
there's a
big guns
marker
the ball.
down, he'll still just do like, no, I'm going to pass the
Yeah.
Cleary. I'm going to pass the Luai.
If it's a quick
You
play
know,
the ball,
get
give
it to
to
the outside
Cleary.
backs.
Yeah.
That's his job. Tackle hard and give good service.
Oh, I forget what I was going to say. I was going to say something. I'm off track though. Daily M medals. They're
Yes.
happening tonight. Who's
Yes.
your tip? It's got to be Sean Johnson.
If he
right?
doesn't get it, fucking
It's
cancel.
a
the pot.
robbery.
He has to get it. Like, I can't see a world unless Ponga does like a miracle comeback right
At
at
the
the
end.
end.
If
Like,
Ponga started well,
no
I think
one
he'd
else will
be
get close.
Yeah.
very, very, very close.
yeah.
Who else is
Haas is a
Haas
smoky.
is just the guy who just build every week.
Yeah.
might get a
I think
2-point
SJ
every week.
SJ will get it. Yes.
I also think the Dalian plays a lot into like the media as well, and I think
Mm.
like the up the wires train and everyone was on the SJ redemption story. I think that adds a lot of points
Yeah.
to his
Yeah.
tally.
Like,
too.
yeah.
The Daily M system is pretty flawed.
Oh, it's rubbish.
in my opinion.
I hate
What are your thoughts on suspensions? People who get suspended during the year not able to get. I'm sure you've talked about it.
Yeah.
Literally
We
last
literally spoke about it on the last
podcast
pod. Like, it's
yesterday.
an absolute joke because, like,
Yeah.
say you miss 4 weeks, you're already getting disadvantaged
Yeah.
in those 4 weeks. Can't score points. So I don't get it. What is it? The best and fairest rule? Like, 'cause you're not being fair because you get suspended.
I feel for someone
I just don't
like
get it.
Jacob Preston, right? He's
Yeah.
he's ineligible to win Rookie of the Year, and he's probably made, I don't know, 40 tackles a game for 20 games. Does one hip
yeah.
drop, very contentious, ruled out for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I don't
It
see
doesn't
that.
seem right,
It
eh?
doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're already getting punished as it is. Why strip away like a Rookie of the Year award? Like that's your one chance to do it. I don't know. It does my head in.
There's got to be a time when they change it, and I feel like the whole Daily M system, just the voting and stuff.
Now the
like
voting, they've got, what is it like?
Two voters, they
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
2 voters, 3,
Yeah,
2, 1,
3, 2, 1.
so they can get a max of 6 points
even
per
like
week.
it does play into the weaker teams. Like you saw someone like Ben Hunt last year came second in the Daily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he the second best player the whole year? Probably not. But the fact that he gets 3 for the Dragons every time they
yeah.
win, it helps. Like look at Penrith, they share the points. Cleary, Luai, Edwards, Yo,
Yeah.
fucking throw in their whole pack if you want.
Same as Brizzy. Like, someone like Haas, you think he's going to be close. And then 1 week, Walsh will steal his points. Reynolds,
Yeah.
Bam,
Yeah.
Farnworth, you know?
I don't know, like the NBA and NFL, they just vote, they just pick an MVP.
Yeah.
But I can also see how that could be
That-
flawed in
that's,
itself.
there could be trouble there.
Very big trouble. Yeah, Ballon d'Or, I think they get like all the captains to like have a vote and have like a 3-2-1 sort of vibe. That might work. I don't know if there's a flaw, but the AFL, watching them do it on Monday night, they just do it so much better.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
how
like
do they do it?
So it's
Yeah, they go like
The
every single
umpires
round,
or-
don't they? Umpires do it.
Yeah.
umpires do it. I think, is it any media or anything?
Yeah, I
involved?
think so, yeah.
And then they lock it away. No one knows the results. Like, so we know from round 16 who's
Who's
in the
leading,
front
yeah.
runners.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help. But yeah, the AFL, I don't know, they do a better spectacle when you're
Definitely
watching
better
the Brownlow.
spectacle. I think this year for Dally M, the best player in the NRL will get it.
Yeah.
I think they'll get
Yeah.
it right.
Yeah.
And
There's been other years where it hasn't.
probably most of the time they do get it right. Like Teddy got it 1 year.
Yeah.
Two of us. Hines last year. I think
Hines
that was probably
was
fair.
I
deserving,
think
yeah.
that was fair.
What
Yeah.
about when Wyden won it? When he was
Wyden,
winning?
Yeah, that was
that
right.
was
Cleary
very
should have won that.
contentious.
Yeah, that was... Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's hard because Cleary's probably been like honestly, like top 2, top 3 player for the last 5 years. And I don't think he's finished inside the top 3 maybe once or twice.
Yeah, he's been stiff there. But I tell you what, like Walsh as well, like he was the best fullback all year.
Yeah.
You could probably argue Ponga. He can't get it. So
Or
like
even Drinkwater as well.
Yeah.
Tricky, yeah.
So like that they have to change that for like team of the year.
What if
especially.
they like rated each player on their performance? You know how Fox do like a player rating every week?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, and they're really critical of it, and they get
Come
like
out
an
with an
average,
average.
of like 5 judges, and then it's an average throughout the year.
That-
You
that would
hate it,
work.
don't you?
I hate every idea thrown
Yeah,
out
so-
because I don't think any idea works. There's going to be
Yeah.
flaws in anything. And yeah.
The only
But
thing with that would be the time, like the effort for every player in every game.
who we trusting
vote
to
on
review
every
it?
Yeah,
player, you
that's
know?
true.
That means you have to closely watch every single player. Like, how accurate would it be?
Just go off
But
SuperCoach points. Call it a
That's
day.
right. Imagine
it.
that.
That's it.
That's the solution.
Who would have won it this year? Jermaine Sarko.
Player of the year. You won't even get. Could get winger of the year.
Probably fair though.
Yeah.
Like, no, maybe not.
Winger,
Player
maybe
of the
winger.
comp. Yeah, winger. SportShed TV charity match. You guys were part of that.
That was crazy.
What
Yeah.
was that like?
It was actually bigger than we expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I think we would like the 4th, 5th, and 6th people to be added to the squads.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time I was like, yeah, I'll sign us up, whatever. They said it was gonna be OzTag, So I've thought in my head, oh yeah, Oztag the whole time.
Yeah,
We played Div 1 Oztags on Thursday. We're like, oh yeah, this is going to be sweet as. And then I think on our
Teed up
podcast.
league.
Yeah, we were saying on our podcast, Jimmy's like, yeah, Oztag, like, we're sweet. And then they're like, no, it's league boys.
Rugby league.
my
We're
God.
like head noise at
And
that
we
point.
just didn't know what to expect. But when we got there, like the whole, like, what is it, like spectacle was just unreal. Like what those boys did on that day, yeah, was
Especially
unreal.
for a first year and like
Yeah.
the amount of content creators that they did get. And like, they weren't just like nobodies with like one podcast episode or one real posted. It was like, had John Bernard there and his brother, had Olin Tekkers was meant to play, Jordan Simi was in there.
Nick Stav,
Nick
like
St-
people like the little kids, like TikTok, everyone on TikTok, they came just to see like these people that have been
players.
following for ages.
Even Shaq TV's got like
Shaq,
100,000. Mahmood.
yeah.
And like after the game, everyone's going on the field taking photos. All you can hear is like, "Oh, Shaq, Nick Stav, Mahmood, Olin," and you're like, "Fuck, where's the Castrol fans?"
we had one Rosie. Shout
Yeah,
out
we
to
had one
Rosie.
fan.
Rosie, goat. But yeah, crazy. They're going to do it again next year. So hopefully we're involved and yeah, hopefully bigger and better things happen.
But honestly, they dudded us with that team. Did you see our team?
I saw the Sportshed guys got the
They got
the
the
NRL,
brothers.
the Bernard
Yeah.
brothers.
Yeah.
And they got Dan from What's New in the Castle, massive front rower.
And his co-host partner Cambo,
Campbell,
who
yeah.
plays still like reserve grade type. And yeah.
We literally had no one.
Well,
Like,
we-
no
no,
one
we
played.
had a good team, but like
Yeah.
their team was just so overpowering. It was like, it was very tough.
Yeah, they definitely set that up. Match fixing at its finest.
We had a few people pull out, didn't you?
Yeah,
We had Jordan Simi pull out.
Olin
pulled
Tekkers.
out.
So we had a
Hectic
really
Fred.
big pack that
Yeah.
just pulled out. And then I think Age, a good story about that. Age after the game. So we're walking off the field and he was like, I've 100% made 50 tackles.
He's like,
No,
he was like,
I
I'm
didn't say
so
50, I
gassed.
said 30.
30. He said, I've 100%.
I said,
made
like,
30.
we watched the tape, like, literally made 30.
And we love SuperCoach and stuff. So we're like, we always plan, we'll go out and we'll come back home, we'll watch the game and we'll tally our points up. So we're tallying it up. And I shit you not, how many tackles do you reckon he made in 60 minutes? If he thought he made 30.
Thought
It
he
was a
made
hot
30.
Mind
day.
you, he played
It was a
hooker.
steaming
He
hot
played
day,
hooker in
keep
the middle,
mind.
In the middle.
full game.
Going off your reaction, 12.
Close. 10.
No, I made 6 and missed 4.
Oh, 6. Oh, yeah, that's right.
You made 6.
And he missed 4. That was
That's
it.
so rubbish.
Yeah.
Mate, it was a tough day in the office.
Mate,
I made
Yeah.
one good tackle on Dan from What's New in the Castle.
chopped him, yeah.
Big fridge, and I just got his legs and he fucking fell like a sack of potatoes.
Would you?
Other
You've
than
been
that.
practicing your goal kicking.
Oh,
Would you be playing in it if you got the call?
So,
up?
hot tip, they've asked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well
There
done.
we go,
They asked,
breaking news.
they asked me in a comment section on TikTok.
Okay.
So, it's not official
Hey, it's
yet.
a lead.
Hey,
It's
you're
a
on the black
lead.
book. You're on the black
It's league. I'm on the radar.
Love
so
it.
How good's that?
So it's why I ask. When I was watching last year, they went over the top, and I thought, I was so jealous. I was so
wanted to be
jealous.
there.
I wanted to be there, and keep up the grind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe I'll be there.
Well,
Yeah.
fuck,
Maybe
you
I'll
got
be
a
there.
comment, so that's all you need.
I
They
heard-
know you're keen.
I heard a rumor that there's going to be a cast versus SportShed TV.
That's what
side.
we put forward.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's their thing, though.
Yeah,
I get it,
it.
but
like if that's their baby, we get with that. We don't
Yeah.
want to take it
Yeah,
off
yeah.
them. But in terms of just like fairness, 3 of them, 3 of us, do a draft. We love
Yeah.
our
Pick our
drafts.
teams.
Yeah.
That's a fucking spectacle.
I'd love to get like maybe next like podcast that we've done, like maybe get Paul Carter in just running like
Fuck that. As long as it's not our team.
coat hangers in the middle, running at someone. Yeah, but that would be a good idea. I understand that it's their thing.
Yeah.
If they put it forward and we want to do it, 100% we'll do it. And like, I'm sure we can pick a good team. We love draft.
Yeah.
Put
Hectic
Jimmy at
Fred-
halfback.
Hectic Fred first pick.
Yes.
Hectic Fred first pick. Yeah.
No, he won't play next year.
Oh, he's
Yeah, no,
still
he's
ACL, no
injured.
ACL.
Maybe
Oh,
Jason
really?
David. We'll think about it.
We'll think about it.
Jason David, first pick, surely.
Yeah, surely. Well,
Surely.
if you saw how he played, 2 tries,
Two
It's
tries.
good.
game breaker.
Yeah.
He brought the crowd in too. As you bring atmosphere, it helps.
Yeah.
For sure. I think it's going to be a lot bigger and better
Yeah.
next year because
Hopefully.
they can only build on that. But
Hopefully you're on our team, or hopefully their
Yeah.
team. We
Well-
can smash her.
well, I think my next move to make sure I'm in that is to do a time trial. 100K,
Ooh.
100 meters.
100K.
Yeah, 100K.
Ned
You're in,
Brockman.
you're straight in.
100 meter
yeah.
time trial.
Yeah.
Make sure it's like, sub.
Like 12s.
I've never timed myself. I
Jesus.
think I could go all right.
Yeah.
I could
right.
go all right.
So if you pass the test there, you're in.
Yeah,
At least
that's
on the
it.
bench. Surely.
Hope
Surely
so.
more
On
than
the wing.
6 tackles.
I was a bit of a cat when I played.
Oh.
rugby.
Yeah? What position were
tackling
you?
wise. I played 5'8".
Yeah.
Played a bit of centre as well. Started in under 8s as a second rower, but
And then just got more cat likely and just like
moved to the edge.
became
center.
as all the big Polynesian
Yeah.
guys got bigger and I
Oh,
stayed
yeah.
the same
Yeah.
size.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
All right. We're going to play a game. And this game is pretty much, if you've seen on TikTok, these people sitting at a desk.
Yep.
And they're going to tell jokes to each other.
Is it the try not to laugh challenge?
Yes.
It's all like that,
Yes. So we're going to tell each other jokes and try and keep a straight face. If someone laughs, they get a punishment. I've got the punishment here.
Yeah? Oh shit! What
Just
are
give me
they?
a second.
I need to see.
Talk through it.
I need to see. Well, our punishments are fucked. If it's chili, I'm leaving the potty.
So you laugh, you're done.
Just don't laugh, boys.
Oh no,
Oh,
it's
it is
actually
chilly.
chili.
no!
It is chilly.
Nah, not again. I'm not laughing. Fuck this. I
This
don't
is
care.
bad.
I don't
This is
care how
bad.
funny your joke is, boys.
I don't know how hot these are, to be honest, but can we eat chili in here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can. We've done
course
it
we
every
can.
potty pretty much. That's why I'm scarred.
So we do the try score trifecta. We pick a try score each week. If 2 people get it and 1 doesn't, you have to do a chili shot. I think he's
Yeah.
on the record for like 3. this
Last
year.
week he picked Herbie, Mam, and I picked Walsh. And
Didn't
Walsh did
score.
like 7 line break assists and he didn't score. So I had to do a fucking the world's hottest chili yesterday.
Oh my god.
Hopefully this is towards the end of
World's
the pod.
hot. This is probably nothing.
Hopefully it's
compared.
not
Nothing
bad,
compared
yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
So-
Who wants to go first?
I'll start us off.
go.
So
Here
just
we
an
go.
easy joke. Okay. Oh, I want to get age. Okay. What if I laugh at my own joke? I'm fucked, eh?
Wait,
Yeah.
can you laugh at your own one or not?
Oh,
Or
I didn't set the rules.
I think it's fine if you laugh at your own.
they
right?
usually. Why are
don't
you
think-
laughing?
All right.
Um,
I reckon you can laugh
No,
at your
you
own
can,
one.
you can,
You can laugh
yeah,
at your own
yeah,
one.
sure.
All
All right,
right.
let's go.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Hutch.
Hachu.
Bless you.
Nah. Didn't get me.
I almost got him.
that's a good one.
Fuck, nearly got you.
All right. Who's up next?
Jimmy, you can go.
Okay, all right.
Fuck, those chilies look red hot.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
You
gonna
ready?
not laugh like my life depends on it.
What did Adam say to Eve before Christmas Day?
What was it?
It's Christmas, Eve.
I
Oh,
saw
that was
that
close.
coming.
I was
saw that
so
coming.
close
Oh,
there.
I was prepared.
Very
and I've heard
good.
that many times.
He's
and he
used
nearly
it
got
1,000
me.
times.
I'll go. Okay, boys. Try not to laugh.
This should be good.
You've already broke.
This should be good.
Does that count?
That
I don't know.
counts.
I think it counts.
I reckon
but
we make
hey,
it count.
we'll go here anyway. Boys, did you hear about the guy who had his left arm and left leg cut off? He's all right now.
Because it's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
Mick was so close.
Oh, I've
His
heard
eyes
it.
are
I
watering.
heard it before. It's so funny.
He's
All right.
Right, you're up.
My joke is a lot different to your guys. It's like something I made up myself.
Okay.
It's a rugby league related joke.
Ooh,
so
that might get us.
um,
Bitch.
it's pretty dumb.
Go.
So there was a father and son fishing outside Seabus Super Stadium where the Titans train. And the son finally caught a fish. And he was pulling it up and the Titans were training right near them. And then the fish came off the hook and the dad yelled, "Broom son, broom son."
Nah, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at that.
Fuck,
With
that was
fucking
very
hell, you
creative.
nearly had me.
That almost
That is
got
very
me.
Like,
good.
if it was
Oh.
any punishment besides chili, I would have fucking cracked up. but
Oh,
I'm not
fuck.
fucking doing
Wow.
that chili.
Fuck, that almost, oh, my eyes were hurting.
I couldn't even
Oh.
look
That's a
at
good one. You thought of that yourself?
Yeah.
That's a
That's
good one.
very good.
I did
rate
like,
that.
I used to do jokes of the week every week. They
Yeah.
got really bad. So there was, oh, jeez, I don't want to tell it again.
All rugby league related?
Yeah.
Oh, no, go. Tell us this one.
So the kid got, I don't want to say it.
Go, say
It was
it.
so dark.
Say
It was
it.
so dark. Like on the news, someone got stabbed or something.
Yeah.
And it was at like some festival. And I said, what is Manisi Fanu's favourite festival? And I said that festival.
That's
It was
so
something
bad.
like that.
Oh, wow.
Did you get
And
roasted on like Twitter or anything?
I had it was our biggest performing episode of the year on YouTube.
Oh no!
I had to delete it because I was just like,
Head noise.
yeah, the head noise,
Oh my-
and I
yeah.
think someone like
Someone shared it and said something.
No,
Or
someone like messaged saying, "Oh, your joke is so rogue" or something,
Oh,
and then
really?
someone else said it, and I'm like, "Fuck, people are talking about it."
yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you talk on a podcast, you're like, "Who's actually going to hear this?"
Yeah,
And
no
That's-
one's going to
yeah,
hear
yeah.
it
Yeah.
until you say something.
Do
then
I have
you're
to
like-
eat that?
You have to eat.
Well, I
it.
got,
Yeah,
I got,
you-
I got
you
one more.
laugh.
I got one more for you.
Oh, yeah, because I said
Yeah. Ready?
Let's see. I want to see his
This is
reaction,
bad.
though. Ooh, how are you with chili?
I'm not good.
Oh no! This is so good. Is it?
Oh.
Do I have to eat this skin?
Yeah, I think you
Nah,
do.
not
Eh?
the skin.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No,
I think
yeah.
so.
Well, we don't eat that kind
Swallow
of chili.
it.
We have
No,
like
this is alright.
It's all right.
It's hot.
Not the world's hottest.
I want
chili,
to get Age and Jimmy.
Alright, go.
Ready?
I'm not fucking. eating that
No,
shit.
you're laughing.
I'm not gonna laugh.
Do you like dogs? Like, do you have pet dogs?
I have a pet dog.
Oh, okay, cool. Why do dogs float in water?
Why?
Because they are good boys.
Oh my god, he's vomiting. He's going
my.
twice.
I'm not vomiting.
We got him twice.
Go again. Oh, you laughed again.
You laughed again.
No, I was laughing at the moment.
Oh,
Rewind the tape.
We'll let
rewind.
him go. We'll let him go.
We'll let him slide. We don't want
I
to
don't
roll
get
him on
good
his own
boys.
podcast. Boys, boys float.
In the
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, and they're a good boy. Yeah,
Yeah.
creative.
Pretty
Pretty
bad.
Poor bloke on his own podcast. We rolled him.
So this is what we
I
call.
really thought I was going to get you with the Brimson joke.
No,
You
like,
had
no,
to
you
make it
had-
on that.
If it
nearly
wasn't,
had us.
chili, I was
Bro,
gone.
like chili, like I'm scarred. Like I can't have it anymore.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, I literally had a mind blank as well.
It's all right. It probably wasn't
Jesus.
important.
Yeah, probably not important.
When I knew I was bringing chili, I knew I wasn't good at it either. So I thought when I was on my way here, I was like, these guys look like they're kind of Maltese or
Italian
Italian and
yeah.
can really deal with chili. This was a bad idea because
Well,
I'm like
even-
the whitest bloke.
Yeah, even Jimmy, like Asian, like they love chili in
Love
their
it,
food.
but I hate it.
So, especially because we do it for a punishment. It's just PTSD.
I'll tell you what's worse though, the raw eggs. We had to crack
that
raw
was
eggs,
bad.
like swallow them. It's the worst texture, worst taste. Like
Yeah.
that's a step above the chili.
I want to try and have a crack at another joke. Tell me a player and I'll tell. Actually, no. Tell me a team. Tell me a
Ooh.
team. I'll make a joke.
Do dolphins.
Or rabbits.
Dolphins or rabbits
Or cows, since Jimmy's a cow supporter.
We'll go. We'll go the Dolphins.
Go.
All right. So, the Dolphins came into the competition, and they were really excited about their new center. His name was Tessie.
Oh, no. Nah. And that looked like
I reckon you're done. Yeah, you
No
got done.
way.
Yeah, because you were laughing when you
Nah.
spoke.
Yeah.
You gotta have the tip.
I'll have the tip.
You love a tip. Give him the tip of the
Give
chili.
me the tip of the chili. Let's see how hot this thing is.
Oh, sorry about the new center.
Oh my god.
Sorry about the new center.
And let's go the rabbits.
How good's that? You can't get away from the chili.
Chili's so shit, but it's not as hot.
Does
as
it
the world.
compare to that those
not
drops?
Bad. It's not that bad.
No, it's just like what you taste in food.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
And you only had
Well,
the
I
tip
don't know.
anyway.
I only had
If
the
you had
tip.
the seed, it would have done you.
I've got one for the
Bro,
rabbits.
the world's
All
hottest
right.
chili's so bad.
Oh, it's bad. We'll give you that one.
The Rabbitohs were getting flogged one day by, let's say, the Penrith Panthers.
Yep, that's reasonable.
Standard.
Their forward pack was getting absolutely demolished. One of the family members saying, "Don't harm Sally."
So close.
That
bro.
is so smart.
close.
That is
very
very
good, eh?
smart.
That is good.
That is
They're
good.
very good.
That is very smart.
They're all very pun related.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so close. So fucking close.
Oh, that was actually good.
Yeah,
Harm Sally.
that's a good one.
Better than Brimson one?
No,
yeah, just because we're South fans.
I like the
Not
Brimson because
No,
I was like, I don't know
Brimson's
where this is going.
All right, I think that's it for the podcast. Cheers for coming on, guys. It was a good chat.
Cheers to coming to our studio.
Yeah.
No,
Saves us the trek.
no,
lot of
thank
fun.
you for having me. And follow your podcast. Follow Cast Patrol.
Yeah.
I've been listening the last few weeks, and you guys.
Another listener.
Did you have plans for the off season?
We're going to do a lot of horse racing.
Yeah.
We're probably going to take a
Carnival.
break over Christmas, enjoy
Yeah.
our time off, and then
And a lot of special guests. We have a lot of special
yeah, we'll
guests.
try and
lined
get a
up,
lot of
especially
special
now that
guests
footy
on.
players
Yeah,
are in their
NRL
off season.
players.
Yeah.
We've got a black book that
But
we're
yeah,
trying
follow
to
us on the
get
Cast Patrol at the Cast Patrol and
And TikTok at the Cast Patrol podcast. We had
Ooh.
25,000 followers and we got banned. So now we're back to 7,000.
sickening.
Yeah.
So
Sickening.
yeah.
All right, cheers, guys.
Cheers. See you
Later.
guys.
See ya.